Good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming to this session. I'm Adam Haupt, the Director of the Center for Form and Media Studies. Give me a sec, let me just line up my slides. And there we go. Just go share screen. So I'm here to talk about what Center for Form and Media Studies has to offer. The title of the presentation is CFMS, Center for Form and Media Studies, Theory or Practice ? And from the beginning, I should confess that title is a little bit of a clickbait title because the answer is both. We know that UCT is a research-led institution, but we teach production. And just because we teach production does not mean we're not research-led. And I just want to invite you to go to cfms.uct.ac.za and check out our website. We've got a page of contributions by our alumni. You'll see that our graduates are really versatile. We have some filmmakers, independent filmmakers who've gone off to make documentaries like Action Commandant, documented by the struggle hero killed by the South African government. We have people working in advertising, people in in news, as well as entertainment media, a broad range of possibilities. Some go on to become academics. In fact, two of my colleagues now are former students. They went on to do their PhDs and are now colleagues. But let's start with undergrad and just give you a quick sense of why I say we're both. It's both theory and practice. At undergrad level, we offer a major in film and television studies and a second major called media studies. Now, oftentimes when people say they want to study film or media, they often say film and media. I want to come and study film and media. Does that mean both or one or the other? And so hopefully it'll be clear in your minds what the difference is. So the first major that we offer is film and TV studies. It's offered in the program called, the BA major in film and television studies. It focuses on film and media, on film and television specifically. And so if you are first year, you'll only really get to do an introduction to film and television in the second semester. Right, so that is analyzing film and TV, and then you progress with 4 other courses over the next 2 years, the remaining 2 years to complete a major. And so that is fully sort of analytical and theoretical. We get you to understand screen as a medium and some of the history and some of the analytical and theoretical approaches to the study of film and television, or broadly speaking, screen studies. The other major is a media and writing, which is mostly where I'm located, although I have taught in the film and TV major as well. I'm primarily located in media studies. And so if you come to our department and you want to get a taste of the major, the first course you would do is Media and Society, the biggest course in the department. That's the one that I have been convening, and I co-convene now with my colleague, Associate Professor Marion Walton. And so Media and Society is a broad introduction to media. It has a cultural studies sort of slant to it, but it's largely a broad introduction to media studies. It's not exclusively focused on news media, so it can be a lot of fun for those students who don't want to become journalists. So in a nutshell, we're not a journalism school. We offer you a broad introduction to media studies. And then we do offer you the opportunity to get a taste of media production. At second year level, we have a course called Writing and Editing in the Media, which introduces you to convergence media, basically sort of digital media. You launch a blog and you use elements of feature writing, podcasting, video production to populate the site with journalistic content. So those are the sort of theoretical courses, the theory-focused courses, the conventional majors. But in the middle of your second year, you could actually apply for one of 3 production streams. The first production course is called Screen Production. The BA in Film and Media with a concentration of focus on screen production. And essentially, for the remaining 3 semesters of your degree, you will learn to become a filmmaker. And there are very particular requirements. You need to do well in your major to date at first year level, and in the first semester of second year, you need to do pretty well, 65, 70 average percent average for your degree to that point to be considered. It also helps if you have a portfolio in the area that you're interested in majoring in. And so we have UCD TV down at the Baxter, in the basement of the Baxter. We have facilities, production facilities and equipment that is available to our screen production students. The other stream, and we also have facilities available on campus, is multimedia production. And it really is what it implies. It's not just video, it could be podcasting, it could be radio, it could be aspects of feature writing, and of course, feature writing and news media. Really, we've moved away from mass media. So we don't just think about magazines and print, we think about how production of media content lives online and how it travels. And so this is what this course is geared to. And speaking of multimedia production, we have a stream that takes these issues a lot further. It becomes a lot more technical in a production program called Digital Media and Informatics. And we partner with our colleagues in another faculty, the information systems colleagues. We introduce people to some aspects of coding and programming, and we make that speak to our interest as media producers and media makers. And very hands-on, can get very technical. There are very particular kinds of guidelines. I urge you to check out the site. This is a screenshot from the site. Check out what the requirements are. But for students coming in at first year level, just to go back a few slides, you don't have to worry about this production programs. At first year level, you would do media and society, and you could also do analyzing film and TV at first year level. Get a taste of both majors. Once you have a taste of both majors, you can decide whether you want to continue with both or just one of those majors, and you prepare yourself in the second year for the second semester of that year to, you apply, I should say, to get into one of the production streams. A lot of students don't do production. It's an elite thing. We basically just take a cohort of maybe 20 students for each stream. That's all we can cope with in terms of capacity. So it is competitive. It helps to do well academically. It helps to have a portfolio in the area of interest. And so screen, multimedia production, digital media, and informatics. That's what we offer at postgrad level. I think I should just give you a quick snapshot of what we do at postgrad level, because some of you will be thinking, well, I guess I've got this degree, what can I do beyond this? We have a number of postgraduate programs. What's important to point out is, yes, we are research-led, but we also do offer honors and master's courses in production areas. So for example, we have an honors in film theory and practice, which is practically focused, as well as conventional theory-focused courses like the honors in film and television studies. For media studies, we offer a broad honors in media theory and practice, but also we offer a program in political communication. So a lot of time, if you know that you want to become a political journalist, you want to cover what's happening in Parliament, or you want to work in Parliament and become a government spokesperson or work for one of the political parties, doing political communication is useful, and so we cover themes like crisis communication in Africa, political communication, political journalism. Those are the kinds of topics we cover in political communication. And so the same applies at master's level, just gets a bit more complex. I should point out at master's level, the production course that we offer at master's level is called, we call it MODA, the Masters in Documentary Arts. It's for people who have some production training, oftentimes older people who have some experience and now want to come and do a master's. They come and do the Masters in Documentary Arts. Also, we offer a twin degree with LSE London School of Economics. Let me just move this quickly. It's called the MA degree in global media. So if you have an average of 70% for your honors degree, you could get into this twin degree program. LSE does offer some funding to go to the UK for 1 year to do your first master's and then come back to UCT and do your second master's. And you end up with 2 degrees and you have the prestige of the LSE and UCT name on your degrees. And of course, we have PhDs in film studies and media studies. We don't have a coursework program, it's dissertation only. Oops, I seem to be frozen. Give me a sec. Why am I frozen? Oh, yeah. So LSE, just to sort of draw attention, if you check out our website, you will see that we have a lot of information on our programs, and the LSE thing is a perennial sort of banner at the top of our page. Just to sort of point to who we are, because we emphasize both theory and practice of a lot of our production students end up working in industry doing innovative things. They become independent film producers, filmmakers, or media producers. A lot of our film students, their work gets selected to get screened at international and local film festivals. They also do quite well with awards. They've scored awards. Our colleagues are no exception. For example, our former head of department, Professor Herman Wasserman, is working on a big international project on fake news, on disinformation. Disinformation in the age of Donald Trump, in the age of COVID-19, information and disinformation, and of course, more recently, I'm sure he's also looking at Vladimir Putin. And yeah, that's us. This is us. Just a quick snapshot of our staff members. One thing you'll notice, I know the pictures are in black and white, but if you take a look at the staff profiles of other colleagues at the university and in our faculty, I'm sure you'll agree that we're pretty diverse. Many of our colleagues have NRF ratings, and so that is prestigious. We emphasize research, but we also emphasize a focus on community initiatives. We have one community initiative called Sunshine Cinema. We have another, initiative that is funded by the Percy Fox Foundation. So we do community work as well. So we're not all about prestige and the ivory tower. We have a presence in communities as well. But I think my time's up. I think I should stop. Am I right? Oh, one more thing. Let me just point you to a person to speak to. We have curriculum advisors in our department, and Dr. Ian Raystake has asked me to tell you that he is the person to talk to if you have any questions. Dr. Ian Raystake. If you go to the staff profiles page, you can find his email. Everyone's emails are the same in actual fact. It's name.surname@uct.ac.za. This is Ian over here. If you can see my little hoodie over here, my mouse. So his email is ian.raystake@uct.ac.za. Just about the NRF, the NRF runs a number of, it's a National Research Foundation, and so a lot of our colleagues, Tanya Bosch has a C1 rating. Dr. Martha Evans and Associate Professor Martha Evans and Associate Professor Musa and Loru both have C2 ratings. Professor Herman Wasserman, who's leading this big project on fake news, he has a B2 rating. I have a B2 rating. A number of our students have done quite well at film festivals. Yeah, so, and also if you check out, let me just show you a screenshot of, if you are at the top of our menu, you will see a tab that says online courses. Online courses, and what that refers to is short courses that we offer. So you'll learn about Sunshine Cinema, you'll learn about the course that we do with the Percy Fox Foundation support, but specifically I want to draw attention to our Get Smarter short courses. You don't have to be a UCT student to get the benefit of our curriculum. We offer short courses through Get Smarter, and when you click on this link, you'll find a link that takes you to the Get Smarter page, and you can learn more about what they have to offer and contact them. Those courses are developed by colleagues in the department, and it's vetted by us. So when you get a certificate of completion, a certificate, not a certificate of completion. You have to do assessment items to get the certificate. So, you know, there are particular academic standards that have to be adhered to. If you pass, you'll get a certificate that is UCT branded, co-branded with Get Smarter printed on, you know, our UCT certificates, our degree papers. And so that is interesting. So some people choose not to do production and just want to focus on their majors. Some of them do Get Smarter short courses, but we also have a lot of people in industry wanting to beef up their skills doing short courses. So that is a nice value add. I can't see anything in the Q&A yet. Oh, here we go. What is the entrance requirement? I will defer. I'm not sure if Jessica is in the room. Jessica Tiffin, Dr. Jessica Tiffin. But essentially, I'm a little hazy on the specific scores for matric. But essentially, the entrance requirements for the BA, broadly speaking, those are the same requirements. It's just that you're applying for a specific program when you apply to the department. The things that boost your point score for matric would be languages. Any of the languages, obviously English. If you have maths boosts your score. The sciences boost your score. So I would say focus on languages specifically. And you know, things that don't really help your point score are life orientation. As important as it is, it doesn't help. Maths literacy doesn't really help. So focus on the sciences, history, geography. I would say courses like history and geography that has, or the languages, anything that has you writing essays and doing a bit of research prepares you for the BA, broadly speaking, and definitely helps you. When do we apply? When do we have to, sorry, I think there's a punctuation thing. The portfolio. So let me answer the question about the portfolio. You would only have to worry about applying for a production stream and, you know, submitting the portfolio in the second semester, actually towards the end of the first semester of your second year. So your first port of call is get into UCT, get into the BA program, specifically get into our program. Once you're with us, you can major in either media studies or in film and television, get through your first year, do well. If you know that you want to work on screen, you know, make movies. I say to people, you don't need fancy equipment. You can use your phone, you can edit, you can make documentaries, you can make TikTok videos, you can host content on YouTube, you can do anything that generates evidence of your passion, of your interest in filmmaking, for example, in this case. Or if you know that you want to work in multimedia, go online, create a podcast for yourself, and let's just say if you're interested in sports, then create a sports podcast. If you're interested in politics, do that and start your podcast and learn how to edit, learn how to record, learn how to edit. Just develop a portfolio. It doesn't have to be super complicated. That's what you submit towards the end of first semester in your second year. And then we decide whether we accept you for the program that you want to get into, and that you know, so I wouldn't worry about that just yet. My advice to anybody who's in matric now is, if you know you want to be a production person, then develop your portfolio, but make sure that you get in a well above average grade for matric. And the way to boost your scores is to look at the sciences, history, geography. Accounting would also help depending on what you've done. The subjects that don't really help with your point score: maths, literacy, life orientation, things like that. I know some schools do offer media, so obviously that helps. But if you haven't done media at school, doesn't matter. The languages, English, Afrikaans, any of the African languages, those languages definitely help boost your score. Are there specific matric subjects needed for film and media? No, not really. We actually have people who come from the sciences. You just need a good grade. You just need to meet the entrance requirements for the BA to get into our program. So you don't really need specific subjects. Like I said, languages. that's important. We value that, and subjects like, any of the social science subjects like history and geography definitely help as well. Is editing or post-production covered in the production stream? Yes, that's what we offer in Screen, but also in multimedia production. We have equipment, we have our own camera equipment, we've got editing suites, and we teach people how to use the hardware, we teach them how to use the software. We tend to use the industry standard. Yes. So the answer to that is yes, that's what we teach. From this, whoever applies for a particular program, that's what we teach from the second semester in second year onwards, right to the end of the degree. So definitely cover that. Is the work theory-based or practice? I think I've answered that question. It's both. Our production stream doesn't leave behind theory. It's production-oriented, but people oftentimes they continue the regular theory-based majors, the analytical and theoretical work, But also, as I said, in the media studies major, there's opportunity to do some practical production work as well, even though the work that we do is largely theory-based. Now, speaking about film and theory versus practice, we differ from schools like AFTA. AFTA definitely does lots of production, like lots of practical work. We do less productions to create space for theorized, analytical, university research-led kind of work, So that is important. Does UCT offer scholarships? We have a funding office, and so yeah, definitely talk to the funding office if you go to the sort of undergrad admissions site on the UCT portal. There is information on funding at undergrad level and funding at postgrad level. So broadly speaking, yes, we have funding available. And of course, there's also NSFAS government funding. And so there's a difference between undergrad funding and postgrad funding, essentially. So it's all centralized. So when you go to admissions, that would be a part of the information package that you get. I'm not seeing any other questions. Oh, here's one I haven't seen. Is it possible to do cross-faculty with a BSc to do computer science with film studies? Just to acknowledge your question, yes, it's possible. Timetabling might be difficult for you. We have had students do it, and sometimes timetabling makes it difficult, and so they choose to stretch their degree over 4 years to be able to do some subjects in computer science or anything from the BSc sort of suite of courses, as well as our faculty, specifically because they want to be filmmakers. Some people have actually done this. They have, I think I can remember marine biology graduate who was actually from Mauritius. She did postgrad film production with us because she wanted to make documentaries in her area of interest, right? Marine biology. So that was very interesting. So what she did for her project at the end of the dissertation was quite interesting. Another question, Chris, just to acknowledge you. These are new questions. I didn't see it. Are there music components in the film and media studies courses? No, not really. But I do research on music. So if anybody wants to do something music focused, I can supervise you, but I would assume a certain level of skills that you already have. In fact, right now I'm supervising a master's student who is recording an EP that focuses on queer phobia and transphobia. And this is somebody who sings and has production skills already, but we're not the South African College of Music. I have co-supervised with colleagues from the College of Music. In fact, I'm co-supervising an opera singer at the moment who's doing research on hip hop. So there are possibilities for cross-pollination, but specifically at post-grad level. So I hope that answers your question if Chris is still in the room. High school subjects, I think, answered that. Do we need NBTs to apply for the BA course? Yes, everything, it's the same rules. You need, there are particular things that need to be done to get into UCT. So yes, all of the rules apply to all the degrees. So whatever benchmarking needs to happen, that applies. Is this the course advice if you want to study film directing? Yes. The answer is yes. We offer screen production. I think this session might be recorded, and so you should check with the organizers about anything you might have missed. This recording might be available afterwards. Can you take any other subjects as electives on top of your major? Absolutely. Typically, you're only majoring 2 courses, right? And the other courses that you do are electives. You can do first-year courses, or you could do, you could take it up to 2nd year and then drop it and not continue at 3rd year level. So each semester you do 4 courses. That's a total of 8 courses for the year. And at 1st year level, you might discover that you're changing your mind about what you like. And so you decide what you want to continue at 2nd level, right? And so you do less courses at 2nd level and less courses at 3rd year level. And so whatever you do at 1st, 2nd, and 3rd year level, that becomes your major. Everything else would be regarded as an elective. And so that said, some people do end up doing 3 majors just because they absolutely love a particular course. They hadn't bargained on doing it, and but they want to continue. So yes, you do lots of electives. So you don't just do media studies or film studies like that. Yeah. Let me see what else I missed. Okay, so you could see the screen. Is film and media good or successful career path? It's difficult to answer that because it's very, very broad, because film is its own thing, television is its own thing, and broadly speaking, media studies covers a broad range of things. You could be talking about news media, you could become a journalist like some of our students have. You could become a PR specialist, a communication specialist, a spokesperson for a corporation or government or NGO. You could go into advertising. It really just depends what you specialize in. You could end up being a film editor. One of my graduates was a film editor for Pasala, right? She was the editor, and she left that to become a lecturer in my department, and so now she's a colleague. So there are a lot of possibilities. It really is up to you. I think there's a lot of, it's not the same as, say, studying medicine. You know, when you do the MBCHB, you do medicine and then that's it. Yeah, and then you're a doctor. With film and TV studies or media studies or production focused courses, you learn a particular set of skills, but you know, your ability to do research and to present research and to analyze makes you more versatile than someone who does a narrow vocation focused kind of course. Let's see, did I miss anything else? Any other questions? I see some people, I think we are over a lot of time, but I'm happy to stay and answer more questions. Are the full degrees internationally recognized? Absolutely. All of our degrees are internationally recognized. In fact, our master's, the twin degree, we do that with London School of Economics. And so that tells you that, you know, we have international partnerships and we are hosting a master's program with LSE, London School of Economics. And so that tells you something. A lot of our graduates will do their first degrees or honors a master's and then continue with a master's or a PhD. Yeah, so absolutely we are. I think I'm getting the cue from Garth. Garth has generously allowed us to stay online for a bit longer to answer more questions. And I think I've answered all of your questions. Do look out for ian.raisdeck@uct.ac.za. Go to our staff profile page. Feel free to mail Ian specifically about curriculum advice, especially when it gets technical. Talk to Ian Raisdeck. I'm also available as HOD via email. So Garth is saying we need to exit because he needs to move on to the next session. But thanks, Garth, for allowing us to stay on a bit longer to give me time to answer people's questions. Thanks. I hope this was informative. Good luck and have fun with whatever your choice is. Thanks so much, everyone. Take care.